These are the most incredible catches of the deep.
Here are some of the incredible fish that could latch onto your rod next time you head out fishing. 12. Giant Mudskipper. You'll fall hook, line, and sinker for this unusual specimen that is native to the Indian and Pacific Ocean, where you're likely to catch them in the marine, brackish, and fresh waters. They're also common on the muddy shores of estuaries and tidal zones of rivers. They burrow themselves into the mud and only emerge when the tide is low and the sun is shining. This fair-weather fish can breathe in and out of the water and can move quite fast across the muddy surface. They can reach lengths of 11 inches, and their diet consists of insects, crustaceans, small fish, and worms. Their bulbous eyes can move independently of each other, and males perform some impressive push-ups and jump high in the air to woo the females. Mudskippers are good to eat. You just need to keep them in fresh water for a few days to get rid of their muddy taste. 11. The Atlantic Wolffish. This is not a fish that's going to give you a warm, buzzy feeling when you reel it in, because let's be honest, this one was way in the back of the line when it came to the looks department. This fish comes standard with wolf-like jaws, no guesses as to why it got the name Wolffish, and along with that, sharp incisors in the front and shredding teeth in the back. These teeth are perfect for their diet of sea urchins, crustaceans, and large marine snails. These solitary fish are found in the cold waters of the North Atlantic Ocean, and they make their own antifreeze proteins. This ensures that the blood from the fish doesn't congeal in frigid temperatures. Their numbers are unfortunately dwindling, and they do often get caught in deep-sea trawling nets. Eating them is not recommended, but those that have tasted it say it tastes a lot like monkfish, but its skin is like shellfish. 10. Sheepshead. It's not what it sounds like. It's not the head of a sheep. Although, given the circumstances, an actual sheep's head might be a tad more appealing.
This fish has a very unusual feature, and that is that its mouth is full of human-like teeth. They're usually around 10 to 15 inches, but they've been known to grow as long as 35 inches. You wouldn't be sorry to catch one of that size because apparently they taste delicious.
The flat teeth allow the sheepshead to eat anything from soft worms to crustaceans, and they move freely between saltwater, freshwater, and brackish water. You can find them anywhere between the Gulf and the Atlantic coasts of the United States. 9. Spotted unicorn fish. This nosy deep-sea dweller goes by many names, but the most common is the spotted unicorn fish, and no guesses as to why it got that name. They are widespread throughout eastern Central Pacific and the Indo-Pacific, particularly around coral reefs, and feast on zooplankton and benthic algae. On their backs, you'll find a spine that resembles a blade, which points outward when bent, and it's used as part of their defense mechanism. The spine is said to be as sharp as a surgeon's scalpel, which is why the fish is also known as the surgeonfish. You can tell a lot about their age from the length of their noses, and they change color depending on their mood. For example, when they're mating or feeling threatened. They are delicious to eat when popped on a grill. 8. Moonfish. You will certainly have bragging rights if you reel in a moonfish. These fish may not look like anything special from the outside, but it's what's on the inside that makes this fish so extraordinary.
Moonfish are warm-blooded fish, and they can maintain a higher body temperature than the water around them. This feature gives the moonfish more energy, allowing it to travel thousands of miles when it migrates. Also called opa fish, moonfish can weigh up to 200 pounds, and they eat fish, krill, and squid.
Their biggest predators are humans and sharks, and they're generally caught as bycatch by commercial fisheries after tuna and swordfish. They're usually eaten raw and also taste great, smoked or barbecued. 7. Snakehead fish. This fish has been dubbed the fish from hell, and recent articles have been highlighting the plight of ensuring that these fish are killed when caught. The Maryland Department of Natural Resources Inland Fisheries were offering people $200 gift cards if they brought in a dead snakehead fish. These insane water creatures are an invasive species that can breathe air and survive on land for a few days. These fish are native to Asia, and it's still unclear as to how they made their way to the USA. They're thin fish that can reach 3 feet in length and are a brown, blotchy color. They are top-level predators and eat fish, frogs, and almost any aquatic wildlife. They can even bite through steel. It's believed that they spread parasites and diseases, and research is being done by the Virginia Department of Inland Game and Fisheries, which believes that humans can also be affected by the spread of those parasites and diseases. Would you like to eat it? Probably not. 6. Parrotfish. There are roughly 90 species of parrotfish, which you can catch all around the world in tropical and subtropical oceans. The biggest parrotfish is the bumphead parrotfish, which reaches lengths of 4 feet and can weigh up to 100 pounds. The most intriguing fact about this deep-sea fish is that at nighttime it secretes a type of mucus, which envelops the fish in a mucus cocoon. It's believed this mucus bubble protects the fish when it's sleeping by masking its scent. Others believe it basically wakes the fish up if they are nudged or prodded by potential prey.
Parrotfish have 2 sets of teeth to help them eat dead coral. They have some teeth that are fused together to create a type of beak, and then inner teeth that crush the food that's inside their mouth. Their teeth are harder than copper, gold, and silver.
Parrotfish are delicious to eat, and a good catch for any fisherman. 5. Angelfish. This is a critically endangered shark species that is also known as monkfish. You usually find them off the coasts of the Northeast Atlantic Ocean, and they sport flattened bodies, quite like a stingray. Reaching up to 8 feet, these sharks are ambush predators. They like to sit and wait for their prey, and in order to look as unassuming as possible, they bury themselves beneath the sand and wait and wait. Their coloring matches their surroundings perfectly, and within 1/10 of a second, they can strike. Monkfish have eyes on top of their heads so that they can see their prey when they're nestled in the sand. They're not a huge bother to humans if left alone, but if provoked, they won't be shy to administer a painful bite. They're often caught as bycatch by fishermen, and were heavily targeted for years by humans for their oil, meat, fins, and skin. They don't reproduce quickly, and they're not currently commercially marketed. 4. Coelacanth.
If you were to catch a large coelacanth, you would want to get that image printed and framed. These guys are unlike any other fish because their lineage goes back 360 million years. They are massive, reaching 6 feet in length and can weigh up to 200 pounds.
There are 2 species of coelacanths found in the Comoros and the other in Indonesia. They are known to live for up to 60 years. Their bodies are covered in thick scales, and scientists believe that these fish will help them understand the transition from water to land during evolution. It's believed that a coelacanth has a 3-year gestation period and gives birth to live offspring. 3. Ocellated Ice Fish. This fish has one of those really long, hard to pronounce scientific names, which has thankfully been shortened to Ocellated Ice Fish. They're found in the Southern Ocean and grow to an average of 12 inches. They're usually found about 1 kilometer deep in the icy waters off Antarctica. What makes this catch so interesting is that it has transparent blood. Their blood doesn't have hemoglobin, which is the protein found in red blood cells. This protein gives blood its red color and helps deliver the oxygen to parts of the body that need it. They do have an advanced circulatory system, which pumps their blood 5 times faster than other fish, which may be the reason why this fish survives without hemoglobin. Their hearts are also a lot larger. This fish also has no scales, and it's also speculated that the ocellated ice fish can therefore absorb oxygen through its skin. 2. Wobbegong Sharks.
It's not just the name that makes this shark unique. It's also its characteristics that put it on our list of incredible catches. The word wobbegong is not a made-up word, but is an Aboriginal word meaning shaggy beard. Wobbegong is pretty dramatic though, so you can call them wobbies for short.
No surprises as to why they're compared to shaggy beards, but they are also called carpet sharks because they also resemble a shaggy carpet. There are 12 species of Wobbegong sharks, and they are nocturnal creatures that sleep during the day and are active at nighttime. They are ovoviviparous, which means that their mom develops eggs inside her body, which then hatch still inside her. They continue to develop inside of her body for about 10 to 11 months and then are born as live young, called pups. They're not usually seen on a menu, but on the odd occasion, you might find one in Australia. What is the biggest fish you've ever reeled in? Share your experience with me in the comments below. 1. Ratfish. Oscar Lundahl got the shock of his life when he reeled in his big catch only to find this bizarre fish with bulbous eyes staring right back at him. It wasn't some fish from the dinosaur era, but rather a ratfish with unusually large eyes. Their eyes are usually pretty big, but not this big. They help them to see in the dark. They're fortunately harmless to humans and derive their name from their long, thin tail, like that of a rat. They are a super tasty catch and taste a bit like cod.